it's kind of funny. I show up here this month, and Big Smooth is nowhere to be found, when apparently he was thinking I was the one that was scared. Big Smooth, here's something you need to know about the initiative. We're not just a bunch of dudes that stand outside in our wrestling gear. Oh no! We do what we want, when we want to do it. I want to fight you, I'll do it on my terms, and my terms alone. That goes for everyone in this group. We all have equal say, and we all do exactly what we want to do. And UWE is starting to figure that out. But by the time everybody comes together, it's just going to be too late. And this right here, this is the UWE United States Championship. But as far as I'm concerned, this isn't a second-tier title, because the UWE Heavyweight Championship was destroyed. So that means that I'm the man around here. Let's go, boys.
The following contest is Made and Jon Cross. Introducing first, he is a member of the initiative. And his opponent, he is one half of the UWE Tag Team Champions. He is Jon Cross.
I'm ready. You think? Hands? Hands for the day. What's up? What's up? What's up? Am I ready? Of course I'm ready. Ring the bell. Let's go. You ready, Colonel Sanders?
And here we go, Keith. A feud a month in the making. It's American Made versus Jon Cross. A grudge match if I've ever seen one, Keith.
I can't understand how personal this must feel. Jon Cross said it himself. He thought he knew American Made, and we all thought we did. I mean, he was one of the most charismatic members. But you've come to that point. He's got, whether we admit it or not, he's got a point. If you do all the right things but get zero success, what do you do from there? Do you quit or do you change yourself?
Very good points to ponder, Keith. And we'll see how that goes for American Made. His new mission tonight to work for himself instead of his country. His first opponent on his new mission, Jon Cross, someone who's been here for every single UWE show, one of the legends of this company. Tag Team Champion, currently one of the only 4-time UWE champions, held every title in UWE, and Jon Cross just one of the best in the business today.
And you got to give somewhat of an advantage to, I don't know if he still is American Made or what his name is, but apparently since he's changed his game, Jon Cross has nothing to go on. He can't study past American Made matches because this is not the same man. So Jon Cross is in for a surprise, and we've got to see what American Made's going to bring to the table with this change in attitude. And there it is right there, going for a cheap shot, but Jon Cross able to turn around in time, and Jon Cross having none of it.
Oh! Jon Cross with the big chop, taking him to the turnbuckle, and here's another one, ripping American Made from pillar to post. And Keith, this is what we thought would happen when these two met in the ring, an absolute explosion of power style. And American Made now taking control over Cross, punches in the corner. Different cross chop there from American Made, a different style than we've seen in the past from the man from the USA.
Yeah, absolutely. We've heard him say he's tried a formula, and it hasn't gotten him far enough. He wants to go further in his career. But now, he's got to change an attitude. If he can knock off Jon Cross, then it's tried and true that this is going to work. But the thing is, Jon Cross is a bit different also, because Jon Cross is taking this personally. American Made was a man he thought he could call a friend, but not anymore. So we're seeing two different wrestlers than we would have seen just a month ago.
Definitely, Keith. Two different men in the same match tonight. And Jon Cross goes to the outside to meet American Made. American Made takes control. Tries to hit him against the table. Can't do it. Jon Cross gets him in the midsection and gets him on the table.
And that's proof that this is a different Jon Cross. I mean, Jon Cross just wants to out-wrestle you, but with American Made or whatever he's going to call himself now, he wants to hurt him. He's throwing his head against one of those tables, and trust me, that hurts.
Absolutely, Keith, and Jon Cross in control of the matchup now on the apron, looking for some type of decisive move here. Oh, and the knee drop to the head of American Made. American Made slides to the floor. This contest continues on the outside as the crowd gets behind their man, Jon Cross of the Loaded Guns.
Absolutely, and he's in total control now. You saw American Made just went completely limp. He wasn't trying to get out of the ring. He just slid out because he had no motor control at that point. And now Jon Cross looking to take full advantage. We saw him bring in a chair, but we're not exactly sure what he wants to do with it. All he's done so far is sit American Made down and punch him, but trust me, I think he's got a bit more up his sleeve than that, and we're about to see it. Jon Cross taking charge. What's he going to do? Oh! Have you ever had the bottom of Jon Cross's boots run across your face? I have, and it is the single most painful thing I've experienced in my life, and I've experienced some pain. That is the worst.
I'll take your word for it, Keith. Jon Cross with the cross-country boot to the man who formerly pledged his loyalty to the USA, American Made. Oh, and Jon Cross eats the ring post with that beard. And Jon Cross is now down in American Made, pointing to his head, pandering to the ill instincts here that he seems to have found in this newfound belief as part of the initiative.
And you got to believe that American Made is still a very loyal man, but now he's showing loyalty only to himself. He doesn't care what the crowd thinks of him. He's taking his opportunity to get ahead of Jon Cross, and that's what you got to do to be a man the caliber of Jon Cross. American Made has a chance here now that he's looking out for number one.
Very, very true there, Keith. American Made looking out for numero uno, going for the pin. You gotta hook the pin on a guy like Jon Cross, right?
Ow! My face hurts now.
No love lost between these two competitors. Jon Cross just feels betrayed by the actions of American Made. And American Made, with the double axe handle onto the back of Jon Cross, and punches continue in flurries. It's a 100% chance of violence here at UWE.
And you have to understand, Jon Cross feels betrayed by American Made, but American Made feels betrayed by his entire country. The saying always goes, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. American Made gave his country his all, and what did he get for it? He didn't get a thing. If it doesn't work, you change it. And we're seeing a changed man, and he has taken control of Jon Cross. This is absolutely amazing.
Absolutely amazing indeed, Keith. Oh, and Jon Cross thrown into the turnbuckle as hard as he possibly could have been by American Made there. This new American Made, he's more intense, he's more daring, he's stronger. He just seems like a different person completely, Keith.
And as you saw there, it looks like he's a bit more arrogant too. I mean, mocking Jon Cross as he pins him. The old American Made would never, ever mock you when he pins you. He respected his opponents, whether he liked him or not. But now it's just absolute lack of disrespect. It's even for Jon Cross, one of the absolute stars of this company. If you're not going to show Jon Cross respect, you're not going to show respect for anybody.
Absolutely right. And now it looks like American Made earning a little bit of respect through punches and kicks from Jon Cross. Oh, but a knee to the midsection by American Made.
And it's got to make you wonder if American Made had these tactics all along. He just never wanted to use them because he wanted to do this right. We're seeing a smarter American Made here, because he would never have used these tricks in the past. He always wanted to go the correct direction instead of the best direction.
Another thing that American Made would never have done in the past is argue with the referee, as we just saw there on that near fall. Now he's got Jon Cross in the submission maneuver here. Referee asking Cross if he'd like to submit. Don't think he's going to, but we'll see. But American Made with a completely different attitude here tonight.
Absolutely, and it's honestly a sad sight to see. I mean, American Made captured the hearts and minds of the entire audience, but it didn't get him where it needed to, where he wanted to be in the company. And it might show that all along he's been a selfish man, because everybody loved him, but he still felt that he wasn't getting his due.
Definitely didn't, Keith, and now he's back to that submission maneuver, trying to earn his just desserts from Jon Cross. See if he can collect tonight at the pay window in this big match against Jon Cross. A kick to the midsection puts him up in the fireman's carry. We'll see what dastardly things American Made has planned here. No, Cross gets the reversal, pushes towards the rope. Big forearm from Cross.
I talked about how bad the bottom of Jon Cross's boots feel, but those forearms, everything he throws at you is just absolutely painful, and that's another good example right there. American Made might be knocked out.
Elbow after elbow from Cross. Here's the pin. 1, 2. 2 count only right there. Jon Cross looking to hype up this crowd here tonight, trying to get American Made, make him pay for what he did last month to Cross, and now he's looking for it. Misses the kick. American Made has the leg. What's going to happen here? Turn around. American Made hits the DDT.
Did you see what American Made just did? He took Jon Cross's flurry and he turned it against him. This is an absolutely incredible new competitor we're seeing here. Oh, and he almost pinned Jon Cross. How huge would that have been?
2 count only there. Just unlike American Made. I'm so shocked here, Keith, at American Made's transformation to this new man in the black tights. I gotta think sometimes that I'm dreaming, Keith.
It doesn't actually matter, because if American Made can pull off this victory tonight against Jon Cross, it absolutely validates everything that he's thought of for the past month. And a huge boot from Jon Cross, so that might not happen. All the strength! Picking up American Made and just dumping him onto his back, going for the cover, and almost getting him. But that's the thing, both of these men have gotten so much offense on each other. American Made is going toe-to-toe with the best person that we've ever seen in UWE.
Definitely is, Keith, and here is Jon Cross, that person that you said is the best in the UWE, going to the top rope here. Oh no, Keith, look over to that corner of the ring. There they are. There they are.
It's a surprise we haven't seen this for the rest of the night. Oh, Jon Cross jumping on the initiative.
Body strewn about the side of the ring. Jon Cross jumping on to the rest of the initiative, and here comes American Made to inspect the wreckage.
We saw these two men going toe-to-toe, but that little distraction might be the edge that American Made needs to pull off a victory against Jon Cross.
American Made has a chair here against Jon Cross. What's he going to do with it? What's he going to do with it, Keith? He misses with the chair, hits himself in the face. Jon Cross gets a big boot. And there's the pin there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the referee distracted by the initiative.
I want to ring the bell, but I can't. It wasn't the referee that made the count. Look at Dimitri Alexandrov. He's in there with the chair, protecting American Made. Jon Cross. Oh! How did we know this was going to happen? The initiative was bound to do this sometime tonight, and they obviously picked their spot against someone like Jon Cross.
Obviously they did. This is a horrible plan here from the initiative, and American Made firmly in control of the contest. Just despicable, Keith. Despicable.
Absolutely. You see Dimitri out here hiding as American Made takes advantage, and American Made is in total control of Jon Cross. Going for a huge pin here. This could be huge. Oh,
and
my God!
And that's it. That's it, Keith. That's it.
Your winner, American Made.
Keith, no announcements needed. We get straight to the brawl here. This match hasn't even officially begun yet, and it's pandemonium out here. Sinister with Breaker on one side of the ring, Nasty and Dimitri on the other side of the ring, And there is no love lost here between these four competitors.
Absolutely not. And if you see somebody like Zakk Sinizter taking a cheap shot, you know this is personal. Oh!
Wow!
Some extracurricular activities going on. Oh! He's dead. He is straight up dead. So is the table. Death.
Zakk Sinizter destroying tables and trying to destroy Brian Breaker at the same time. Let's take our attention to the other side of the ring. Mr. Nasty beating up Dimitri, facing him off. Sinizter and Breaker. Hard-hitting action here in the early going of this contest.
I'm fine. Thanks for asking.
Thank you, Keith. Keith, this match hasn't even started yet. What's going to happen here?
I don't know. I don't know if this match even can start. If they... We might actually get a match here because 2 men in the ring.
Match begins here with Nasty and Dimitri.
They used up all their energy on each other. So what are we going to have left for this match? But Mr. Nasty is not done. Oh!
Mr. Nasty in firm control right now. Tags into his partner, UWE Champion Zakk Sinizter. Elbows Dimitri right in the face.
Right now, Dimitri's on the short end of the stick after that huge brawl that we saw, but he's quickly trying to take back over. Initiative needs to take control of this match quickly before things get too out of hand again. Because as we can see, Zakk Sinizter and Mr. Nasty are in no mood to play around.
Definitely not in any mood to play around, but I have to wonder here, Keith. They're up against two hardened veterans of the initiative here. Mr. Nasty and Zakk Sinizter, never really known for working together. You think that'll work to their detriment tonight?
It honestly doesn't matter because 2 men with a common goal are a team, whether they've teamed together or not. And right now their common goal is to take out the initiative, so there's going to be teamwork there, I assure you.
2 count after the leg drop from Mr. Nasty onto Dimitri. Dimitri getting worked over so far here in the early going by Sinizter and Nasty. Jawbreaker there from Dimitri. Brings in the big-time U.S. champion, Brian Breaker. Mr. Nasty getting that left hand in, though.
And as we saw, Dimitri was in a bit of trouble, but now that Brian Breaker's tagged in, Mr. Nasty and Zakk Sinizter still not messing around. As Brian Breaker himself, what most would call the leader of the initiative, is taking some punishment from the UWE champ and the pimp.
Keith, definitely a lot of punishment being given here, and Brian Breaker taking control of the contest. Irish whipping Sinizter into their side of the ring, and here comes Dimitri, bringing him back to that turnbuckle and putting his face in it.
You got to wonder who this is going to favor, though, because as you said, Mr. Nasty and Zakk Sinizter have never been a team before, though they have this common goal. But I do believe that Brian Breaker and Dimitri Alexandrov have never been just a two-man team before. So this is going to be very explosive, and we're not going to have any predictions in this match. Like, what could possibly happen?
Keith, you never know the initiative at any time. We don't see Riker, Abel, or Clint Cassidy, or American Made at ringside right now. But what we do have is Brian Breaker and those giant hands that he chops with. Brian Breaker fully in control now against UWE Champion, yet Zakk Sinizter. Champion versus champion in the ring right now. Quick tags from Breaker to Dimitri. As a former tag team champion yourself, Keith, what can you say about quick tags in a match like this?
It's the most important thing in a match like this, because if you isolate one guy, it becomes a 2-on-1 situation. As long as you keep it that way. Oh! Huge throw by Zakk Sinizter. But that's the thing, is these two teams both have common goals within their teams. But if you make it only one person, oh my God! If you make it 2 against 1, it doesn't matter how motivated the other team is. You only have to deal with one of them. Ow!
Mr. Nasty's pimp hand way strong here in the early going versus Dimitri. And it's time for the booty call. Woo! Dialed it up and hit the booty call versus Dimitri. Sidekick there from Nasty. Mr. Nasty, no stranger to the strikes. Uses his hands, his feet, his forearms, his elbows, anything he can to inject pain onto the opponent.
That's why this is a main event. We're looking at 4 men here who know exactly what they're doing, as Dimitri Alexandrov just showed us. He knew that he was in trouble. He had to make a move to make sure it didn't go too far out of his favor. And now look, Brian Breaker in control of Mr. Nasty. That is smart. All 4 of these men are explosive, and I can't wait to see what happens.
Absolutely, Keith. Oh, a big suplex. So much power displayed there by Brian Breaker. Going for the pin. 1, got the 2 count on him. And Mr. Nasty just not ready to give up yet. But Brian Breaker got him in that chin lock there in the middle of the ring, way far away from Zakk Sinizter.
And that's the last place you want to be, is way too far away from your tag team partner. But it looks like Mr. Nasty might be able to close the gap. Oh! Attempted to close the gap, but Brian Breaker having none of that. He is bound and determined to make sure the initiative is in absolute control in this match and in this company. That is a motivated man, and Brian Breaker is just plain scary at this point.
Absolutely right, Keith. Brian Breaker just putting Mr. Nasty through the cleaners here. More chops, kind of giving Nasty a taste of his own medicine here. Looking for the boot. Oh, and gets the face into the boot of Dimitri and tags him in. The Initiative right now are really doing an effective job of cutting off their half of the ring here. Dimitri Alexandrov hits the body slam, looks for the running knee drop. They're on to Mr. Nasty. 1, 2 count there. Zakk Sinizter trying to get in to interfere in that pinfall attempt, and back to the chin lock on Mr. Nasty.
Absolutely, and this is an amazing thing to see. Mr. Nasty is just so good. It's odd to see him out of his element like this. He doesn't know what to do right now. It's like I said earlier in the show, when you're in this much trouble, the smart thing to do is tag out, which Mr. Nasty's trying to do, but he's against the Initiative. Such a powerful group. And even though Mr. Nasty and Zakk Sinizter have a common goal, the Initiative is a team in every sense of the word.
Mr. Nasty with the reversal there on to Dimitri Alexandrov. The fans chanting his name. Nasty, Nasty, the Creole pimp tries to make it to the corner, but gets pulled by the ankle by Dimitri. And here comes Breaker. Oh, hit Sinizter. Not enough though. And all hell is broken loose in the ring here. The ref has to break it up. And the attack continues on to Nasty.
And Brian Breaker willing to make sacrifices. He provokes Zakk Sinizter, which is the last thing you want to do to a man of that size, the UWE champion. But he was willing to take a hit or two to get the upper hand on Mr. Nasty. And now Brian Breaker back in control of this match.
Absolutely, Keith. Brian Breaker. Oh! Backdrop onto the rope for Mr. Nasty. And it hits the ground very, very hard there. And the Initiative right now is doing whatever they want in the ring.
Absolutely, and I don't know if Mr. Nasty can breathe right now. And now look at Brian Breaker just mocking his fellow wrestler after he basically took away his chance of continuing in this match. Mr. Nasty needs to make a tag, and soon. But with Dimitri Alexandrov doing things like this, it's going to be tough to do.
Breaker and Dimitri tag again. Just when you think Nasty's back into it, he gets more punishment from the Initiative.
And they will never, ever stop delivering punishment. They've made their intentions very clear. They win this match, they punish somebody. They lose this match, they punish somebody. It doesn't matter. They know why they're here, and they are not going to stop.
Nice move there from Nasty onto the knee on the head, and here comes Sinizter. Sinizter in with Dimitri, gets the big boot. And Sinizter, a house of fire here, hits Breaker, hits Dimitri. And Sinizter is now in full control just like that. The tide of a match can turn like that, Keith.
This is why it's such an exciting match. I mean, the Initiative had the upper hand for the entire time, but Mr. Nasty able to get a tag to a fresh UWE champion, and that is the worst thing that could happen to the Initiative. And look at this, huge slam.
Huge slam is right on. 2 count broken up by Brian Breaker of the Initiative. Oh, and that big pimp hand to Mr. Nasty. Taking out Brian Breaker. Seemingly right back where we started here. Mr. Nasty on the outside with Brian Breaker. Zakk Sinizter with Dimitri in the ring. And is he looking for the blessed hell ride? Oh,
He nailed it.
1, 2. Oh, and it's broken up. Broken up by Breaker.
These two teams are just so motivated that no team is going to win unless they can put out both of their opponents, because they're not going to just let them win willy-nilly like that. Brian Breaker making sure this match belongs to the initiative. And Zakk Sinizter taking so much punishment from Brian Breaker. I don't know how much more the UWE champion has. Mr. Nasty's not even in his corner to tag out if he wanted to. Oh, but he takes away Dimitri out of his corner. And look at Zakk Sinizter. He looks like he's ready for Brian Breaker.
That hand around the neck of Brian Breaker. Oh, and a big choke slam from the UWE champion, Zakk Sinizter.
How strong that man is.
1, 2. Oh, and a 2 count there. Well, here comes the initiative. Go for the bell. A disqualification here in our main event.
Here, that was a no disqualification.